welcome to another 2017 31 Days of Horror Toronto After Dark edition. Yes, we are talking about the Toronto premiere. This had originally had played at where did it had played? Fantasia in Montreal, where it got the Best Canadian Film Award. And you know what? I can understand why, because this is pretty smart. Yeah, this is a film. I know when you hear it's a Canadian film, you kind of hum and ha. Again, it's going to be, you know, lower budget. Some of you will hum and ha, but no, this is quality work here. And this film is called Poor Agnes. Now, the film is directed by, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Navin Ramaswaran, who has done a lot of short work, and there's only, I think, 2 features before this, maybe. One being Chasing Valentine, which I haven't seen, and Late Night Double Feature, which I have somewhere, but I still haven't watched it. It'll probably end up on one of these 31 Days of Horror. I believe Late Night Double Feature may have played at the BITS, the Blood in the Snow Film Festival. Or is going to play at the Blood in the Snow Festival? I don't know. I just remember it's around here somewhere. Oh wait, do I have it? No. I'm going to get it. It hasn't been released yet. I just remember the artwork. The artwork for the Late Night Double Feature. Maybe I do have it. I do not know. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I have it, maybe I don't. Either way, it's not important. But definitely, this is someone you should keep your eye out for. Hopefully, you know, people get behind him and he gets to do more films, because he does, at least from what I've seen from this film, he does have the talent and the imagination and the stuff, as you will, needed to actually form and put together and produce and deliver on good film. It's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. But the amount of films I watch, a lot of them are not good at all. I do try and find the good in everything, but some things just aren't good. The film's written by a first comer, actually, James Gordon Ross, who this is the first feature he's ever written. And outside of that, I mean, I guess a couple of shorts and some television and stuff like that. So I don't know if this was a script that he's had, you know, sitting around, like he's been, you know, which is maybe why it worked so well. Maybe this is something that he's been working over and, you know, rewriting multiple times to get it just perfect. That might be one of the reasons why this works so well. But essentially, it involves 2 characters, right? You got the Agnes character and you get her captor, because the film is about Agnes, who lives in a small rural town out in kind of like I'm talking like really rural. She lives out in the forest type thing, kind of like alone, very secluded. And she's essentially a serial killer. She lures and then captures and then, you know, kills guys, and then covers up her tracks so that nobody knows that these people are really gone. And this is where it kind of takes a little bit of a twist here, because she develops a kind of relationship with her latest victim. It ends up being kind of like Misery in a way, where, you know, you get the victim and the Victor, what do you the killer and their victim developing a kind of a relationship over time, right? That's essentially what this film is. but it's really, really well done. And oh my gosh. Well, first we'll talk about the victim, who I believe who played the victim. It was played by like Neil Patterson. Neil Patterson. I think it was Neil Patterson. Ooh. Anyways, he's listed as police officer. Yeah, nobody's listed as victim. I hate when they do that. Well, there are a couple of people listed as survivors. A lot of people listed as there's also Mike. Ah, crap. I should have written down notes. I hate when this happens. So we'll go with Neil Patterson, who we'll say if he is the victim, he does a decent job there. He hasn't been in a lot of anything, but yeah, it's decent. I mean, as the victim and such like that, it's very, very convincing. But where the film really shines, obviously, is Agnes, played by Laura Burke. Now, Laura Burke has been in a few films like Forest Fairies and the Cocksure Lads movie, but never as a, you know, like a big main role. She's done some short films as well. But oh my gosh, like, this is somebody who I'm hoping manages to break out, because her portrayal in this film is really, really, really good. Like, I mean, like, really good. Yeah, honestly, it's one of those films where you know the budget is a constraint, so they do the best they can with their budget, and by limiting it to small amount of people, very, very small location, they are able to extend that budget and make it seem to go a lot further. It really does come across as this film is, it's not big budget. You're not going to see huge explosions and crazy CG effects and such like that. And, Iron Man isn't going to swoop in and save the day. It's not that type of film, right? It is a character study, maybe. It is all about the relationship between these two characters and the dialogue and the acting and the way the director, manages to get them to interact with each other and portray the scenes and shoot the scenes and get it all edited together to form this believable and entertaining story. It really is. Honestly, I don't know, it's one of those things where as much as I can say it is, I can talk about this film, I can try and sell you on this film, but it really is one of those films where you have to watch it. The feeling you get, the feeling that these characters end up, like the feelings between the two characters really comes across the screen, and you are able to feel these things. Like, it's just something you can't. Well, I'm sure a better spoken, a writer perchance could manage to convey clearly, and maybe even through a video like this on YouTube, make you feel what you get as an audience member watching this film. But I'm not that person. I honestly say, check it out. Hopefully, eventually, it'll get somewhere. Somebody will release this film, and you'll be able to see it and enjoy it. I'm not going to say it's the best film out there ever like this, but considering what the nature of this film and who's in it, there's nobody to sell it. You got no director, writer, editor, actor, just person doing the score or music. None of these people you can put on the thing and be like, from the blah blah blah, to sell this movie. So it really is just one of those films where it's going to be word of mouth, and yeah, I'm not going to say, hey, this is a great film, you have to see it, you have to add it to your collection. No. But I'm going to say this film is really good, and really, it's really well done, and it delivers on what it sets out to do. And if you get the chance, if you come across it, do not pass it up. Give it a watch, and come back and tell me if I was right or wrong, because I think, Misery is like really good. I love Misery. But I'm thinking this is almost up to the, I mean, if they had the budget and the actors and all that kind of stuff, you might be seeing Poor Agnes on the big screen, people will be, talking and writing about it and saying, wow, this is the next Misery. This is the, you got to see this. That might happen, but, yeah, I don't know. It's solid. It is really solid. And you know what? I'm worried that perhaps this film will it'll do its festival run and then just get forgotten. And nobody will see it. I don't know that maybe eventually somebody will pick it up on the cheap after it, doesn't get anything. I don't know. I'm hoping somebody picks it up and somebody, puts it out there, and you get it on, streaming services, and you get it on Blu-ray and DVD. Fingers crossed. But I mean, there are films out there I've seen which I felt the same way of before, which still have never made it past the festival circuit. Never went anywhere. Heck, some of them never even made it really to the festival circuit. I've seen films where the only place you could have seen them was where I saw them, and that's it. They're gone. Never to be seen again. Of course, some of them weren't great. It was more about the achievement and that they managed to achieve what they did than anything. But yeah. Films, man, the whole industry is a weird industry, and I talk to my friends, who are filmmakers and who are work for distribution companies or own distribution companies, and I talk to them, and they're just like, like they all have different stories and talk about how weird things are sometimes, and how you see a film and, like the distributor guys will be like, I want to get this film, and they will fight, tooth and nail trying to get this to the, giving as much money as they think they possibly can, even if they figure they'll just break even at most, to try and pick them up. And then some other company just says no, they'll give them more money. They go with the other company, and then that's it. You never hear from them ever again. And it happens. And I don't want this to happen with Poor Agnes. Yeah. Fingers crossed that you get to see Poor Agnes somewhere. Whether it be in a festival near you, whether it end up getting a limited edition, limited release to theaters, or perhaps a wide release. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be awesome. And at the very least, let's get a DVD out there, or better yet, a Blu-ray. And yeah, as you can tell, I am giving this a recommend. I do think you should check it out. It is a good, fun watch. It may you may chalk it up to maybe being best as a, streaming, video rental, that type of thing, and one off, watch it and you're done, and that's fine. I don't really think I would need to re-watch Poor Agnes. I would. I don't think it is one of those films that warrants re-watching over and over. I mean, I've seen Misery maybe twice, right? It's not one of those films that I need to re-watch over and over and over and over again. But, watching it once every 10 years or so, like, why not? Poor Agnes probably falls into that category. Just pop it in there every once in a while and be like, oh yeah, now I remember why I enjoyed this film. And yeah, not everybody watches a lot of movies, so they don't have time to re-watch a lot of movies, and they don't have time to watch garbage. And there's a lot of garbage out there. So chalk this up to, what? It's kind of middle high road, well done, entertaining, and you could do a hell of a lot worse. And that's, I guess, the best I can say about it in terms of my recommendation. It all boils down to the two main people who are acting in this film, and yeah, Laura Burke sells this film for me. She sells this film. Kudos to Laura. Well done. Yeah, Poor Agnes. If you can watch it, do so. That's the best I can. That's the best I can give you here. Anyways, more 31 Days of Horror to come, so stay tuned. Comment down below. Love to hear from you. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.